we have to big you up. We didn't big you up last week because we was doing the Super Bowl. But my nigga, you are a father, a husband. You got a house. You went to college. Your wife went to college. And you, I mean, like I said, your father, your baby only like 4 or 3 right now, so it's always money in that. But you are motherfucking me, goddamn, you are debt free, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're writing us, not just us, but the other brothers out there in the world. How did you? First of all, how much debt were you in personally? How much debt was you and your wife in collectively?
Talking about women.
How long did it take y'all to like finally like?
This is 9 times out of 10. It's him and his wife.
Yes, me and my wife, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much it was separately because we did everything together. But we were in $117,000 in debt, and
that's like
we paid it
I don't
off.
want to cut you off, brother. I don't want to cut you off, but I want to assist you right here. Talk about how that correlates to when you were talking about when that dude said finding a good woman. Remember, you always talk about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You always like to go towards this, but that's how, like, when you told us that, I was like, because he's really applying that shit. You know what I mean? The shit that he believes. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, bro, my wife's amazing, man. But
Fucking believe it.
yeah, I know I had way more debt than her. I think I probably had like maybe like $80,000 of the debt myself. But yes, we had a total of $117,000 in debt. We paid it off in 18 months. And I know you introduced that I have a house. Actually, we're still renting. We don't own a house yet. But that's the reason why we got out of debt. Right. Well, really, since we got married, even since before we got married, my wife had always talked about owning a house. Because home ownership is part of the American dream. I know it's unpopular to say, but we in this household still do believe in the American dream. Go ahead, sir.
You can keep going real quick, but yo, shout out to my OG who I'm named after, and my mama who named me after my OG. They have paid off their mortgage.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So that's something we had talked about, but I had never got serious about it until after we had Harper. And once we had Harper, right around her 6-month birthday, I was like, okay, I gotta make a plan. I gotta make a plan.
I didn't know you had a birthday in 6 months, but go ahead.
Oh man, her half birthday.
I know what you mean.
Hey, listen, if it was up to my wife would have a birthday party for my daughter every day. So yeah, it was
hard.
Yeah, so it was her half birthday, her first half birthday, and we celebrated it. So around that time though, I was like, okay, we gotta get it together. So the way I even started it was I was on this website called Bigger Pockets. It's a website for real estate investors, and they have like these like chat rooms. So I was trying to talk to people about how to get started and investing in real estate, because I figured, if I could learn how to invest in real estate, then that would help me to be able to find a house better, but also create wealth and all that stuff. And so I was talking to different people about the situation I was in, and how desperate I was to get out of it and make things happen. And people were talking to me about it, and I remember this is where things changed, because somebody behind the keys decided to tell me the truth and stuck a mirror in front of my face. This dude named Tom. I don't know what Tom looked like, but I just know it's Tom from Bigger Pockets. Said, basically, you need to get your shit together. He was like, you are $117,000 in debt. You don't have your financial house in order. You need to get that in order before you even think about trying to invest into a house, because you're just gonna make a mess. And I was like, God, dog, freaking Tom. All right. And so when I heard that, I was like, you know what? I need to figure this out. And so I went online looking for, different ways, like what I need to do to get out of debt, And I found Dave Ramsey, and we started following the Dave Ramsey baby steps. So yeah, so that's what we started doing. Um, and just for anyone that's thinking about doing this, intentionality can get you wherever you want to go. As long as
You
you are
say intentionality,
intentionality.
Doing things
not going with the flow, right? But like doing things on purpose and very much so with intention.
Deliberately.
Hey, the reason I harkened on that is because that was like a personal jab to somebody in my life about going with the flow and shit. And but go on, yeah.
So I just want to
going with the flow.
explain the Dave Ramsey baby steps real quick to anyone that doesn't know about them, right? And it's basically to help you to gain wealth, and especially we need this as Black folks, right? Um, yes, there is a wealth gap in the country between Black people and white people. There's a whole myriad of reasons for that, right? But I am a true believer in that if we do what we need to do, we can close that very, very quickly, right? Within the next like 10 years, Asians are going to be outpacing white folks and the median wealth the Asians have. And sure they haven't gone through what we've gone through, but they've been doing some stuff. Go ahead, Edward.
He gotta go real quick, Christian. But I know last week when I was talking about, like me and God and the trash cans, and like you kind of like gave people like a smaller step. They may be like, I'm more than 117,000 in debt, or whatever the case may be. Darnell, our brother, I remember pulling up to my dog crib and like, and we can edit this out, but I feel like we can go there. Pulling up to my dog crib and Darnell was in a trailer. He was staying in a trailer park home. Mm-hmm. And like for the past 2-3 years, like you're in a whole house now. A lot of people, I know you come from humble beginnings, and I feel like that would also, I feel like that's also a financial conversation from your perspective on how you went from being in a trailer park home to now being in a home with 4 kids. Because I know how stressed you was in that situation, and I know you're so peaceful now with where you at. How did that transition for you come about financially and just be moving from where you was trailer park to now being in a home with a big ass yard that it take you days to cut? I made that. My nigga got acres, but all right.
Real talk, leap of faith, man. Like we talked last week, man. Leaps of faith. Like nothing happened until I started making moves that were dramatic and wasn't necessarily gonna be a security under it. It's about me just believing in myself and knowing, okay, dude, you can do this, bro. This ain't nothing new. You can pull through the worse shit than this, and I don't see why you haven't moved forward to begin with. But at that time, it was one of those situations where I fell flat on my face to the fullest. Yeah, I got up, but the way I got up, it was very discouraging. Like you said, I was in a trailer, and it was just one of those things where, every day it was just like, I don't want to get further than where I'm at. I'm in a trailer. Like, I feel I'm at the bottom. Like, I don't want to be the next step, which is the streets with kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my big fear. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it was one of the things where I just kept trying to make things work where I was at, and shit just wasn't going. Shit just was straight not going. And it got to a certain point where it started affecting my relationship. It started affecting my physicalness, and it got to a point where I take a leap of faith. The year before, I almost lost my family, almost lost my life in a car accident, all because I was just in a bad position. And it took that point where I said, you know what, this ain't shaking, dude. I'm about to lose everything. So I just took a leap of faith and, made moves to get a better job, made moves to get a better place. And I mean, that's why last week when you guys were talking about leaps of faith, I was just like, bro, it really works. It seems scary.
I'm sorry, could you expound a little bit more on like what that leap actually was, or what that leap looked like?
The leap was, I was at a job, which I feel like a lot of people fall into, I was at a job where I was just like, I'm making it. I'm good. Like I have a job. I'm employed. And the job I was working at was the same, but it was the right industry I wanted to be in, just not the right location / company. Like I wanted to do that position, but I just didn't want to do it there. And like I said, I was very terrified of like either quitting that job and trying to look for another one, or even just trying to sacrifice the little time that I did have to find a better job and to really believe in myself at the time. You know what I'm saying? So it took that point where it was just like, I just had enough. And like I said, I mean, God gave me one opportunity to where he put something in front of me and said, hey, make something work with this. Because he'll always give you, that's the thing about God, he'll always plant something in front of you to where it's like, now make something work with that. And that's exactly what he did. And I mean, if I felt like if I would have made a dumb decision on it, I would have still been that worst. I was still in that bad position. If not worse, there is no if not, I would have been in that worst position. Because I know I wouldn't want my family to be stuck in that position where I was, not trying to make things happen. But that's the beauty of God. Like he'll give you that one little opportunity to be like, hey, here, make some shake. And I mean, if you pass that up, that's on you. And God did what he did his part, and you didn't show up. So with all that being said, just when God passes you the ball, be ready to shoot. Don't let the opportunity pass you up with overthinking or whatever. It's like, and like I said, you always gonna know when it's God. you just know. There's no other way around it. You just know. So pretty much, bro.
Right on.
I'm not gonna incriminate. I'm not incriminating my old job though. That's what I'm not gonna do. You know, we keep it 100 fresh around here.
I was gonna drag him through the mud. I'm glad you said so.
Nah, we're gonna keep it 100. You know, that's not the kind of people we is.
My boy said I was physically. Like, oh,
I'm about to help my job out too, brother. But I definitely understand, like when you say knowing your worth and knowing when it's time to move.
I ain't shit. Clearly, I came to play tonight. Pause.
I definitely was in a similar situation where I wasn't happy anymore. Though I had got a promotion right out of college, like you said, you know, I'm making okay money for, you know, what I'm doing. But no, I could be making more, knowing I could be doing more, knowing I had the zeal and desire to expand and to be more.
Hallelujah.
I just didn't have the opportunity to spread my wings, so to speak, right? So it just took what you said, Darnell, like just taking that leap of faith, right? Because I think the quote goes like, you're never going to be in the most advantageous or perfect position to make the move. You just have to do it. Yeah. You're never going to save enough money. Yeah. It's always going to be like, damn, I want to save a little more, or I really want to take a little more time to get this situated. Like, no. Have the faith, do have your ducks in a row, but be ready to move when God says move. And it's just like the same thing you said, man. I took a leap out on faith. You know, just trusting God's word, man. Man, God quite literally, man, he said that he come that we may have life and have it more abundantly. And quite literally, sometimes when I pray, I ask God, I just want to live in the abundance, whatever that looks like. Because if you look up the word abundance, right? Abundance just means to have it, but to have it vastly, right? To have it overflowing, to have a insurmountable amount of, right? So if healing is in your will, God, let me live in abundant healing. If financial freedom is in your will, which I know it is, let me live that abundantly and show me the avenues and let me ask for that wisdom now. So when you do put me in a position to do that, I will know the right decisions to make to navigate that journey that you have placed me on, right? So I said all that to say, man, I said, fuck my job like 7 months ago. And just recently, you know, about 2.5, you know, got a great job in a way better field that's actually on the uprise. So, man, take that leap, man, because if I hadn't, I would have still been there with people more than twice my age complaining about work every day. And the job I'm at now, I haven't heard not one person complaining yet. I've been there for almost 3 months.
Somebody. Yeah. Talking to somebody, Shine Hard. Just letting you know, bro.
Telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. It's if you. I'm telling somebody right now. If y'all listening, if you looking for it, it's out there. You may have to wait. You may have to be alone. It might require you to cut some people off, cut some things off. But I'm telling you, when you get it, it's gonna be so much more satisfying and gratifying when you do. I'm telling you, and I'm preaching to myself right now. Goddamn, so. I'm still convicting my damn self. Shit.
Yeah, you said something right there that I think is very important. And bro, you talked about financial freedom. And bro, as Black Americans, we should take liberty of any kind seriously. The history that we have in this country, we should take that so seriously of any kind. And we should run as far from any type of bondage. And I specifically mean right now, financial bondage, right? to make sure that we are as free as possible, to where we ain't got nobody calling us for nothing. No one can hang their head over us for nothing. Anytime you read in the Bible about debt, it's always synonymous with slavery. Always. So back to my journey. The Dave Ramsey baby steps. Baby step one, to save $1,000, right? Have $1,000 saved for emergencies, right? Many of us get into debt because, oh snap, something happened I didn't plan for. Got to swipe the card real quick, right? And yeah, those $1,000 may not cover everything, but it'll cover most things to make sure that you know can don't have to dip back into the credit card. Um, if you have more than $1,000 in your savings account right now when you're getting started, the plan is you get that down to 1,000, apply whatever extra money you have towards your debt, because you got to get out of that as fast as possible. So baby step two is get out of all debt except for your mortgage. So any, car loans, furniture, cell phones, student loans, credit card, whatever, medical bills, pay all that off. Even the stuff in collections. I know people tell you don't worry about that. Even that too. Pay everything off, and then move on to the next thing. Baby step three is to now move that $1,000 from just $1,000, your emergency fund, up to 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So if you add up your rent and your food and everything, and your number is $4,000 a month, take me $4,000 to live, right? You multiply that times 3 or 6, depending on your situation, and that's what you have for your emergency fund. Baby step 4. You do that at the same time with baby step 5 and 6. Baby step 4 is now start to put 15% of your income towards retirement, right? Whether that is inside your company 401k, a Roth IRA, or a traditional IRA. 15% of your net income. So everything before taxes, 15% going to towards retirement. No more, no less. If you want to start saving more, that'd be investing for in other stuff. But right then and there, just 15%. Step 5, you got kids, start saving for their college fund. There's a bunch of different avenues to do that with. 529 is pretty much the best one to go. And then baby step 6 is to pay off your mortgage, right? If you have your mortgage paid for and kids' college paid for, your cars are paid for, you ain't got no bills. Okay, I gotta pay the light bill real quick. I gotta pay the cell phone bill, the cable, insurance. What's that? $500.
Yeah, man.
After that, all your money you got coming in. You got some food, okay. So it's $1,000. After that, all the money that's coming in is yours. It ain't going out to nobody else, right?
All money in.
And that
that'll be great.
That leads you to baby step 7, which is just build wealth, right? Live like no one else, so you can live like no one else, right? At that moment, there's 3 things you can do with your money. You can spend it, you can save it, and you can share it, right? And so you can do all 3 of those things once you get there. So right now, me and my wife are on baby step 3. We are leading up to our 6-month emergency fund, and so that'll take us probably to September to fully fund that, and then working on saving up for a down payment on the house. So yeah, man.
And yo, beautiful people, there you have it. I know sometimes when you hear respect the game, you always think it's about sports, but sometimes the game could be life. Sometimes the game could be finance. And with our discussions, you may hate the game. Our discussions may make you love the game, but all in all, when we get done talking, you will respect the game. So we hope to see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.